Hello everyone. So today I'll teach how to prepare for the ISI-CMI entrance exam. So this video is for high school students who want to give the ISI and CMI entrance exam a try. So firstly, I'll recommend you some books. Then I'll be talking about the general syllabus. And then the third one is that the exam patterns for ISI, then for CMI. So let's start now. So I highly recommend the following books. So the first one is Problem Solving Strategies. Then the second one is called The Test of Mathematics at the 10+2 level. Okay. So this book is published by ISI. And then An Excursion in Mathematics. The fourth one is The Challenges and Thrill of Pre-College Mathematics. And also do refer to some standard textbooks for calculus definitions like Apostle. So in here I've got a book. So it is The Challenges and Thrill of Pre-College Math. So it looks like this. Okay. So let us continue. And then for the syllabus part, I'm actually going to it's actually very simple. Number theory, combinatorics, algebra, geometry, calculus. So in this part, I think I'm gonna tell you how to prepare for them. So for number theory, so I recommend you to read An Excursion to Mathematics for the basics, and also solve a few exercise problems. Try out the problem on Test of Mathematics at 10+2 level. Then for combinatorics, so you can expect beautiful problems here. So CMI lives up to this expectation. And for ISI, the problems related to combinatorics will be quite tricky. So you need to know very well when to add and when to multiply. So also do read Excursion for the basics. And also read through PSS as well. Also remember to do all the questions from TOMAT, TO without help. And then the next one is for algebra. So what you need to know is that you need to know your high school algebra very well. So besides this, you also need to know the inequalities, such as the triangle inequality, the AMGM-HM inequality, the Cauchy-Schwarz inequality. So, it will be your advantage if you know some further tricks. in solving problems for algebra. So it's quite nice to analyze algebraic structures and draw analogies from other fields. So also, do note that polynomials is a very important topic. So also the same thing, an excursion in mathematics, and also practicing problems from the TOMATO is enough. After that, geometry. So revise all geometry theorems and lemmas that you've done in your 9th and 10th grade. So do also practice from TOMATO and the easier problems from an excursion to mathematics. So I think that is the last main topic, which is calculus. So calculus is much weighted for ISI papers. So you need to know everything very precisely. Okay? So before applying theorems or lemmas, make sure you can prove it. So topics that will be examined, like requirements, is that the definition of sequence, limit of sequence and functions, continuity, differentiation, mean value theorems for integration. So do ask help from someone experienced. So you may read a postal for theorem, statement, and definition. So for practice, do continue to try out TOMATO. So after knowing the basics of these topics, so do try out some questions from Putnam contests. So you may, if you don't know how to do them, so you can see the solutions and learn. Okay? So for MC questions, multiple choice questions in ISI. So practice mathematics papers of JEE mains. So, but avoid doing too many questions from coordinate geometry and indefinite integration. So for CMI questions, they also include some Math Olympiad. So practicing an excursion to mathematics will help you. So what you should do before the exam is that you have to make sure that you complete TOMATO, each and every question, with or without help. and all the past year questions, the past papers of ISI and CMI. So keep away from a few MC question papers of ISI. So if you think that pretty comfortable with a topic, just go for PSS. Okay. So if you can solve the first 15 problems in each exercise by yourself is good enough. Okay? So TOMATO is extremely important, and it must be solved completely. So an excursion to mathematics is just for reference. And then PSS is for further problem solving practice. So you may gain experience from it. Okay? So for the interview, it is very important. So the interview panel will sit with you as your subjective copy, and they'll ask about some conceptual errors that you made in your paper. So you need to be prepared to face that. So even if you make such errors, they'll still point it out, and you can also get a chance to correct yourself. So actually, they just want to know your thinking process, and it doesn't matter even if you don't solve a problem fully. Okay? So now let's talk about the exam pattern and syllabus for ISI. So there are two tests. One is UGA and one is UGB. Okay? So UGA is multiple choice type, and UGB is short answer type. Okay? So for algebra, it will be about sets, prime numbers, factorization of integers and divisibility, rational and irrational numbers, permutations and combinations, basic probability, binomial theorem, logarithms, polynomials. So there are a lot of topics here. And for geometry, so concept of a locus, ventration, equation of a line, and plane geometry. So there are also a lot of topics. And then for trigonometry, so trigonometric functions, identities, and some properties, and also etc. will be examined. So for calculus, for example, sequences, functions, limits, differentiation, integration, etc. will be tested in the exam. Okay. So for ISI, UGA, which is the multiple choice type. So the time, the duration, is for 2 hours. And so each of the question will have exactly one of the choices to be correct. So you get 4 marks for each correct answer, 1 mark for each unanswered question, and for 0 marks for each incorrect answer. Okay? So, and then for UGB, which is the short answer type, the duration is also 2 hours. So this section will contain 8 short answer type questions. So you have to show all your work and prove what has been asked. Okay? So this paper will be checked only if you clear the cut off of the UGA paper. Okay? Then we'll talk about CMI. So the time allowed is 3 hours. The total points is 100. So part A, 40 points, and then B, 60 points for part B. So the question paper usually contains 2 parts. The first part contains 10 questions, and the second paper contains 6 questions. So part A will be used for screening. Part A will be used for screening. Well, part B will be graded only. So if you score a certain minimum in part A. So however, the scores in both parts will be used while making the final decision. Okay? Okay, so please ensure that you have about 2 hours left for part B. So I think that's all for today's video. And in our next video, I'll teach you how to do some ISI-CMI problems. So I hope you enjoy this session and wish you good luck in your ISI and CMI entrance exam. Bye.